Well, boys, we did it. We actually freaking did it, guys. And I had to make this follow-up video because if you've been watching the channel at all, you might have just seen me pull a bunch of shards for Fyna and come up completely empty, which was one of my most brutal videos. And so I decided to say, you know what? Screw it. I'm going all in. I'm going all in and I'm going to see if I can get this champion. And against all odds, and I really do say against all odds, because I'm going to show you what this costs, by the way. I've never done this on the channel before. I'm going to show you exactly how much I spent going for Fyna, all the legendaries I pulled, not getting Fyna, and basically just have a discussion about how insanely difficult it is to get champions on a progressive chance event that are non-void, because folks, it is damn near impossible, and certainly the math doesn't mess around. But I did actually get my very first Fyna, and I'll tell you right now, I will never go for this champion again. Unless they are on a summon rush, you will never see me pull shards for this champion again, barring some type of massive change to shard pull rates. Because when I tell you that this is the most I have wailed out for a champion in years, I'm not exaggerating. For one specific champion, right? For a champion on a progressive, for a champion on a 10x, whatever, 15x, 25x, I just don't do this kind of shard pulling anymore. Now, you can look in my past, you can look at my past videos. I used to do it all the time. Taurus. I had a 710 void shard video for Taurus when I was first starting out as a content creator. And realistically, that kind of wailing is a big part of why I really have a channel at all nowadays. It got me noticed. People paid attention to my account because it was an ultra Kraken super spend account. And frankly, I can attribute some of my success as a content creator to those videos. I don't think I would be where I am now without them. I mentioned that because like I said, I'm going to show you, I'm going to tell you what it costs for me to get this champion, but I'm also going to show you and tell you how many shards I pulled along the way, so you fully understand how absurdly difficult it is to get the champion you are going for. If you're going for a champion that is, not void affinity, it's hard for void affinity too, but it's on a different level if it's a champion like Fyna, especially a faction unity champion, which you can't pull normally from shard pulls, only on events. So on the one hand, am I happy I got this champion? Yes, I absolutely am. Unfortunately, she is basically the meta for doing any kind of end game content. If you're looking to do Chimera, if you're even looking to do potentially Hydra, she's important in some cases. But specifically for Chimera, she is what you're looking to use. And that is, that's freaking important when you're in an end game clan. It really, really, really matters. And so I'm very happy that I got her. I'll also tell you this right now. I got her on my very last 10 pull of ancient shards, folks. And so you might be wondering, Drock, how many shards did it take in total for you to get Fyna? And by the way, I'm going to do a video on Fyna and how to build her and all that kind of fun stuff. I'll do that in another video, but I just want to talk about the sheer economics of what it costs to get this champion completely transparently. But you might wonder, how many shards did it take, Drock? Now, if you watched my video the other day, I pulled 140 ancient shards that I already had up. I pulled, I think, 14 sacreds that I already had up. And I pulled another 27, another 280 something ancient shards out of gems. I had 24,000 gems. I can't remember exactly. You'll have to check the tape. Maybe it was like 24,000 gems. I burned them all. So I ended up pulling, just on that video, over, I think, 400 ancient shards plus like 14 sacred shards, and got nothing. I got absolutely nothing. Well, here's what I did when I got off camera. That video obviously was not fun to make. Of course, it's one of my best performing videos of the last month or 2 months or whatever. Surprise, surprise. People love seeing me get owned on shard pulls. I mean, hell, I think it's entertaining content, right? So there is a reason for me to spend on these kind of events because of how beneficial it can be for me as a content creator. But I pulled over 400 ancient shards. I pulled 14 sacred shards. So when I got off of it, I was just like, damn, dude. I mean, surely if I buy some shards, I will get this champion, right? Surely maybe I spend 100, 200 bucks and I'll have like 150, 200 ancient shards, something like that. And that will be enough. Surely I'm at the 25x, right? Remember, I'm at the 25x. Well, folks, that is not the case. I ended up pulling close to 950 ancient shards on this event. And additionally, another, I think, 5 to 10 sacreds in total. I'm not bullshitting you. I'm not exaggerating. I pulled almost 1,000 ancient shards to get one copy of a Fyna, guys. One on the last freaking 10 pull. And so let me show you all the legendaries that I pulled as well along the way, which again, like, hey, awesome to get legendaries, right? It's a great thing to get legendaries, but it's certainly not a great thing to get legendaries that are not the legendary you're going for on a progressive event. And you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I pulled 13 other legendaries and not Fyna. She was the 14th and final legendary that I pulled out of 1,000 or close to 1,000 ancient shards. I mean, what can you say, folks? I wanted to make this follow-up piece because so many people watched that Fyna video and were like, Jesus, this is just brutal to watch. And it was brutal to watch. It was brutal to be the one living it. And again, I don't wail like this anymore. I really do not. This is the hardest I have wailed in genuinely years. If there were a nice 10x would I wail like this? Yeah, I probably would, in all honesty. But for any other champion, I really wouldn't. You know, maybe a couple $100 in shards and call it a night. Which, you know, again, as a content creator, there's a reason you do this stuff. People like watching these videos. It's an important part of my channel when I do these videos, and it's great for viewership. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it's not. But to pull that many shards, to have to pull that many shards to get a champion is just disgusting. There's really no other way to put it. I'm so glad that I don't have to go for this champion again. Honestly, I don't ever want to make another Fyna video for any champion like that. It feels really bad. It feels god awful. And I really wish that she weren't so damn important for content in this game, but unfortunately she is. And look, I ended up getting her, but I'm also going to tell you, I didn't think I was going to get her because again, she came in the last 10 pull. She came in the last freaking 10 pull of close to 1,000 ancient shards. I was shocked when she actually popped out. I was so accustomed to not getting her. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, it's actually her. I was laying in bed. It was my last 10 pull. And I was like, oh, whoa, how could this? It actually worked. Yeah. And that's because the chances of you getting a champion on a 25x, let's say you got to the 25x, your chances are like 5 to 6, maybe 7%, folks. That is sobering. That is some of the craziest shit I have ever heard. And so now let me tell you what it cost. So I have all these shards. So what did it end up costing me? I looked back through my bank statements because I was actually curious. What did I actually spend on this event to get to this level, to get this Fyna? And again, I got lucky at the end of getting Fyna. As far as I can tell, it looks like $700, folks. $700 fucking dollars. Is it worth it? I mean, as a content creator, I'm going to say yeah. As a content creator, yeah. But if I weren't, would it be worth it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Never in a million years. And I think one of the biggest things that I've seen, really, that I've had my eyes open. I talked a little bit of this in the Fyna video itself. But man, you play any other game in this space, I don't care what it is, the summon rates are infinitely more reasonable. Pick one: Dragonair, King Arthur. Shit, I don't even know what the summoning rates are in Wuthering Waves or Genshin or anything like that, but I guarantee they're not as bad as this. I'm willing to bet that they're not as bad as this. Etheria Restart, whatever it may be. The final thing that I want to point out in this video is, look, wailing like this, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm not quote unquote part of the problem. Of course I am. Anytime you buy shards and wail this hard, it means there's less of a chance that they change things in the future. So it would be hypocritical for me to say otherwise. I'm really glad that I got this freaking champion. I certainly do not intend to do this ever again. Or certainly not for a long time, not that hard of whaling. But it's just criminal to say the least that Plarium has not changed the shard rates when they have added so many champions to this game. I mean, again, you have I did a video with Saf in the last couple months. I encourage you to watch it. I think I'm going to do an update on it. Let me know in the comments down below if you'd like to see me do an update video with Saf on what the shard rates are right now. But I'm telling you, they're terrible. They're terrible. They're bad on void shards. They're god awful on sacreds and on ancient shards. So let this be your PSA, folks, that on a 25x progressive chance event, it took me close to 1,000 ancient shards and $700 to get one copy of the champion I desperately wanted. And it only happened in the last 10 shards. No bullshit. I have nothing left. It only happened in the last 10 shards. There is a world in which I wailed that hard and came up with nothing. And I'll leave you with one other little story that I got from a fellow a friend of mine who plays Raid, who also wailed hard for Fyna, way harder than me. And he was telling me that he spent close to 4K to get a grand total. Take a guess. How many Fynas you think he got with 4K? Two Fynas, folks. 4K. 4,000 American dollars. And he walked away with 2 Fynas. Pretty sobering shit. Pretty sobering shit. So, look, I have her now. I'm really happy about that. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm not. I know she's going to be big for me. I'm going to do a video on her, like I said, which hopefully people will enjoy and watch. But man, sometimes playing Raid, you just can't help but say, good Lord. And look, here's the thing. I consciously chose to do this. This wasn't a like roll away train. I was like, no, fuck it. I'm going all in. Like, I don't want to ever have to go for this champion again. And I even said to myself, I was like, if I don't pull her buying packs this go around, I'm never going to like buy a pack for her specifically again. I'm just not going to worry about it. Like, I'll go for the nices. I'll go for the mythicals, the shit that, you know, that actually matters for PvP stuff. But I'm not going to stress about it again. Like, this will be my limit, and we're going to wail hard, and we're going to hopefully get her. And by some miracle, I actually did. But again, 13 other legendaries pulled, folks. Great rates. I'm not going to sit here and say they're not, but certainly not great when none of them are the champion you were looking to get. So, all that being said, let me know in the comments down below. Are you surprised at how much it cost to get her? Are you surprised that I got her? Here she is. She hasn't even built yet. She's not even built. I think I did actually book her out. I did, but she's not even built. I had a 2-star soul for her. So I will build her in a future video, and I'll show her off, and we can all bond together over my bad decision making when it comes to, well, actually in this case, my good decision making because I got the champion. But overall, realistically, bad decision making because, good Lord, if I weren't a content creator, no way, no way, no way, no way, man. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoy this transparent look into what getting some of these champions really costs if your luck is, I'm not even going to say bad, if your luck is just normal. Because again, getting this champion, I think it's around a 7% chance. I haven't checked the math. Somebody do the math for me. If you don't, I'll do a little update video with Saf, but whew, never again, folks. Never freaking again. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day. And I hope to God that you got whatever champion you were going for. And if it was Fyna, I really hope you got her. So let me know in the comments down below. And as always, appreciate the support. Big Papa Drock.